have to know the names, some examples, real basic ones, and we have to know whether they're anabolic or catabolic. So first one is synthesis reaction. So A plus B forms AB. We took two smaller compounds, we formed a bigger compound. That's anabolic. We're building or creating, right? So synthesis, genesis, for storing energy, building, whatever, that's going to be all words synonymous with anabolic. So an example, hydrogen ions plus bicarb equals carbonic acid. We're taking two smaller compounds and they're forming a chemical bond to create a bigger compound. That's anabolic. Now, decomposition reactions are catabolic, so it's the opposite direction of this reaction. We have AB. We're breaking the bond between A and B and forming A plus B. We're separating them. We're breaking the bond. Example, taking sodium chloride and breaking it into sodium and chloride, okay? Separating it. Now, these ones with water get a little bit more confusing. So this is going to be a dehydration reaction, right? Or the full name is a dehydration synthesis reaction. So dehydration is kind of referred to that as because we're pulling water out of the compound. So we can see here, we have A and B, just like A plus B here, and we're going to form AB, right? So it's still a synthesis reaction. It's still anabolic. But look, we're going to pull hydrogen from A and oxygen, hydrogen from B, and we're going to form water. That's why I put them in a different color. So you see we're pulling the water out. So we're creating water. So it's dehydration because we're pulling this from the reactants, and we'll have always water as a product. So if you have water as a product, this is, like in this context for this basic chemistry for your purposes for the exam, it's going to be a dehydration synthesis reaction. Now the next one is going to be a hydrolysis reaction. So anything lysis, anytime you see lysis means breakdown. So hydrolysis, hydro water, lysis, breakdown. We're going to break down water. So we have AB, and we're going to break it apart to A plus B. That's catabolic, just like up here. So like a decomposition reaction. But in here, look, we're going to break down water, right? So we break apart the bonds between hydrogen and oxygen, and now we can see those here and here. So we lysed water, we broke apart water. Now lastly, this is an exchange reaction. So an exchange reaction, well, we're breaking and forming bonds. So is this anabolic or catabolic? Well, I guess it's kind of both. So we're taking AB and CD, so these are reactants. We're breaking the bond between A and B, breaking the bond between C and D, and forming these new compounds BC and AD. So that's an exchange reaction. So that's stuff you need to know.